There are wounds that only knowledge can inflict, and they bleed backwards through time. They do not heal. They are simply understood too late. This is the story of such a wound.
Welcome to Displaced. I'm Mara Saleh. With me, as always, is Dr. Henrik Voss. Today, we're opening case file 005. She was already gone. Henrik, this case feels different. The subject wasn't a soldier or a farmer. She was a healer. And the subject you chose for this exploration of purpose was Elspeth. Most of the subjects we've discussed have been people of action. Soldiers, architects, explorers. Their lives were defined by what they did. But a healer, their identity is quieter. It's built on knowledge, on presence, on trust. It feels more internal. Was that a deliberate choice?
It was a very deliberate choice, Mara. We have observed soldiers in future wars and builders in future cities. Those are displacements of scale. This was an experiment about something more fundamental. We wanted to explore a displacement of meaning. What happens when you show a master of their craft the absolute endpoint of that craft, centuries beyond their reach? What does that do to the story they tell themselves about their own life's work?
A life spent in the service of others, in a time when the tools for that service were so limited. So where did you send her?
A busy corridor in an NHS hospital. Glasgow, present day, for 9 minutes. The initial disorientation was standard, of course. The sensory data was overwhelming. The light, the unnatural sterility of the air, the sheer volume of people. But her reaction was unique in our records.
She wasn't afraid?
No, that's what was so remarkable. She found a corner out of the flow of traffic, and she simply observed. She watched the nurses, the doctors, her posture, her focus. It was not fear. It was professional curiosity. She recognized the patterns of care, even if the methods were alien to her. She was watching colleagues.
Looking for what she knew in a world that she couldn't possibly understand. And what did she see? What was the moment that defined her displacement?
A code blue. A man in his late 50s suffered a massive coronary. He was clinically dead on the gurney, right there in the corridor. A crash team descended. Elspeth had seen this exact moment countless times. The sudden stillness, the slackening of the jaw, the point of no return.
Right.
And then she saw the defibrillator. To her, it would have been incomprehensible. A box of metal, a shout of "clear," and then electricity. The man's chest jumped violently. A second shock. And then a steady rhythm on the monitor. A life pulled back across a line she had always believed to be absolute. In 30 seconds.
She's watching a miracle, a resurrection. What must that have felt like?
That's what we expected. Awe, wonder, perhaps even a crisis of faith. The mind reader's report. It took me a long time to translate the data. The emotional signal was dense, complicated. It wasn't awe, Mara. It was grief.
Grief? For a stranger?
No, for everyone else. In that moment, watching that man survive what should have killed him, her mind didn't leap forward to the possibilities of the future. It was pulled backwards, into her own past. It was a sudden, retroactive and overwhelming grief for every person she had ever been powerless to save. The names came one by one. The faces, the specific weight of a hand going slack in hers. Every patient she had watched die from a failing heart, every child lost to a fever. All of it came rushing in. She was experiencing the ghost of a cure. The knowledge of what could have been done laid over the memory of what was.
Oh, Henrik, that's devastating. You showed a healer the scale of her own helplessness.
We showed her a truth. And when she returned, 9 minutes later, standing in her cottage with the smell of peat smoke in the air, she carried that truth with her. The logs show she was still for a long time, simply staring at her own hands.
And what happened after? How does a person live with a memory like that?
3 days later, she was called to a difficult birth. The child, a boy, was born healthy. As she handed him to his mother, she said something that was passed down in the village for generations. She looked at the infant and said with a strange new certainty, "He will live a very long time."
Because she'd seen the future he would live in, she knew what was waiting for him. The cures, the medicines. Henrik, was that a gift or was it a burden? To give her that knowledge.
That is the question that sits at the center of this work, is it not? We cannot quantify the weight of what she carried from that day forward. We only know that her practice became quieter, more deliberate. The historical record suggests she was regarded with a kind of reverence, but also a distance, as if she knew something others did not.
She did. She knew the price of time. She saw the bill for 200 years of progress, and it was filled with the names of her patients, her friends. It makes you think about all the things we don't know yet, all the people living right now who won't be saved by a cure that's only 50 years away.
Precisely. Elspeth's story revealed a difficult human truth. That knowledge we do not have yet is not just progress waiting to happen. It is an unpayable debt to everyone who came before it.
An unpayable debt, and she was the one who had to feel its full weight, all at once.